Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my worlds, the world away. We now got stage 29 of Hero Collectors, Build the Ecto-1. Now, just like you saw in stage 28, in stage 29, we're going to be doing the right-hand side of the exhaust pipe. We've already done the left-hand side. Now, this is still available to get from issue 1. So if you do want to get hold of this and start this build yourself, and you can see how amazing it looks on the shelf there, just go down to the links that I've put in here. If you're in the US, follow the US link. If you're in the UK, follow the UK link, and you'll be able to build this for yourself. But let's show you what the parts we've got in this issue are. As you can see, there's the right hand side exhaust. Now it is worth noticing in this one as well, we do have a bracket which looks just like that, which we don't use in this stage. So we need to keep that to one side. It means we've got two of those now. I'm just going to put this to one side and I'll show you the magazine. So here's the right exhaust, and as you can see, we're going to be fitting the exhaust here first off. Then we're going to be bringing the car over, turning it upside down and just plugging in this section just underneath the engine that's going to plug it into the manifold there. Turn the car over, and then we're going to screw the exhaust in from the top. Then we're going to turn it upside down again just to put 3 brackets in place, and then that's that done. And as you can see, we've got 2 exhausts flowing through the vehicle there. In the next issue, as you can see here, we're going to be doing the axle, the rear axle there, and it's going to look like this when it's finished. Not a lot to do in stage 30, but that's probably going to be out later in the week. And then if I turn to the back here, it goes to show what's coming in the next few episodes. You see we've got 2 stages which look like the tyres there. We've got some pipe work here, and then it looks like we've got some of the leaf springs for the suspension on the rear of the vehicle there that's going to be going in. So it goes without saying, every time I do a build on the Ecto-1 and watch the vehicle grow, it's great to watch it build on that shelf. As a matter of fact, it'd be good to have a time lapse of what this shelf looks like for the next 2 years as the older models on this shelf start to build up. But without further ado, let's get cracking. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is take the exhaust box looking just like that, and the first part of the exhaust we're going to put in is the thinner section looking just like this. So it's got this at this end here. As you can see, the exhaust box has got R on it, so we know that it's for the right hand side, and this is basically just going to fit on this way here. Now it has got an R on this side as well. We want to make sure that's facing up when we put it in. It's going to sit just like that, and it's going to be held in place with an IP screw, which I've got here. So we'll get these open. I'll put these just over here. Quite a few screws in this episode, so I'm just going to put them in different parts around the workstation here so I don't get confused. And this is the first one going in here. Just like that. Now we're going to take the section which has got this sort of bend in it, and that's quite simply going to be going on the other side here. And this time, as you can see, you've got a little moulding sort of mark there. You need to make sure that faces up as well. So this is going to be going on this way round, just like that. Once again, going to be secured in with an IP screw. So I've got the screw together here. Get that in there. And we'll make sure that's nice and tight. Now we're going to be putting the cover on the box here. And as you can see, this is the cover here. We've got a lug on the top. We want to make sure that lug faces towards the longer end of the pipe here. So when that goes on, it's going to fit on just like that. And that's going to be held in once again with 2 IP screws. So that's 1. And 2. It's not until you add the last bit of the exhaust pipe on that you realise how long this actually is. And that's the second one there. And then the last section, as I mentioned, is going to go onto the end here. And as you can see, you've got a little notch there, which is going to mirror the notch that we've got in this one here. It's going to go on just like that, holding it all in place from this side. And then once that's together, it's going to be held in with a HP screw, not an IP screw this time. So I've got a HP screw here. I'll get these out. I'm holding it together in my fingers, which is getting a little bit tricky. And then we'll put that in. Just like that. Make sure this is nice and tight together. And there we go. That's the full exhaust in. You can appreciate how big that is. I'm going to put the exhaust to one side because I need to bring over the vehicle now. Now I've moved one of my cameras around because we're going to be working on this section here. We need to attach a manifold to it. Now this is what the manifold looks like, and it's this end here with the screw hole on top, which is going to fit over the mirrored section of the manifold there. Now it approaches it from the bottom and then sort of rides up. So hopefully you can see when it's in, it's going to look just like that. But to put that manifold in, we're going to need an AP screw. So I've got one of them here. And we're going to be screwing it in through the hole just at the top there. So I'm lining that up, holding it up, and then I should be able to get that screw in, no problems at all. And there we go. And that's the exhaust in nice and tight. Now we're going to be putting the rest of the exhaust in place. So just over that point there, we're just going to plug this section here into it. Just like that. And then we're going to line up the exhaust so that the lug section will fit into place here and keep everything in one place. So I'm going to turn the car over and we're going to screw this in from the other side. So this is the hole that we're going to be putting that in. And I'm holding it together here. It's going to be held in with a CP screw. So I'm trying to do all of this with 2 hands. I do need some more hands for this, I think. I'm going to drop the screw just into the top there. And we'll screw that in. And that will keep that side of the exhaust into place just like that. We've got one at the back to fill in now. And now the rear part of the exhaust is going to fit into this hole just here. And that's going to be taking an IP screw. So I've got that there. And then that means that the right hand side exhaust is now fully secured into place to the chassis of the vehicle, or actually the floor pan of the vehicle. We need to turn it upside down again now just to put a couple of brackets in. So once again, upside down. And as you can see, I have got a little bit of polystyrene here, which I'm just supporting the back end with so I don't damage that. And the first bracket we're going to put in looks just like that. Slightly different from the other one here. And that's going to basically go onto this section here, just like that, over the exhaust pipe there. And that's going to be held in place with a GM screw. Well, these are quite tiny screws, but I've got it in the hole there. We'll screw that one into place. That's the first bracket in. Now these are going into metal, so if you want to put some oil in there, then by all means do that, but they're not going in far, so that didn't look too bad, to be honest with you. The next bracket's going to be going onto the other side, just over here, and that's going to sit in just like that, once again held in with a GM screw. Nice and tight. So that's the 2 brackets in place. And then we've got one last bracket just to put down the far end here. Going to be mirroring this bracket that we put on this side. And this one looks just like that. And as you can see on the close-up, we have got a lug at the top there. That's basically going to over the exhaust there and clip into place. And then that's going to be held in with 2 screws. The one here is going to be a BM screw, and the one at the far end here is going to be the EM screw. So I'm going to put the EM screw in first. That's going to go into this one at the back. Again, this is going into metal, but they're not very big screws at all. So I'm going to not use any oil on that. And then the last one we've got is the BM screw. And that's going into this side over here. Nice and tight. And now that exhaust is going nowhere, but I'm sure you'll agree that's looking absolutely brilliant. So there you go, that's stage 29 complete. As I said, we have got these 2 bits left over, one from stage 29, one from stage 28, so we need to keep them safe. But yeah, looking really impactful. And obviously in the next one, as I said, we are going to be doing the rear axle. That'll be coming soon, but I really do hope you like that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.